(2023) elections. Melaye mocks Tinubu over gaffe in Jos APC campaign rally. So with all the blunders that Tinubu committed during the rally in Jos, Melaye is coming out now to mock APC with that. Now, wow. The chief spokesman of the People Democratic Party (PDP) presidential campaign organization, Dino Melaye, has mocked the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress (APC), Bola Ahmed Tinubu, over his gaffe at the launch of the party's campaign rally in Jos, the Plateau State. News Nigeria records that Tinubu, after delivering his speech on Tuesday at the flag-off of his presidential campaign in Jos, prayed for Nigeria and mistakenly prayed for the opposition party, PDAPC. So the ruling party's presidential candidate, who suddenly realized he was calling PDP instead of his party, quickly corrected himself and mentioned APC twice. In a statement on Thursday, Melaye said the gaffe made by the former governor of Lagos State was an early warning signal that he isn't fit to become the president in 2023. Melaye said Tinubu's low performance, conduct, and courage at the Jos rally demonstrated another pattern of unfitness for the office he seeks to occupy. He added that the age, wealth, academic credentials, and records of Tinubu's career are shrouded in secrecy, saying that such a person is not qualified to become the president. The former Kogi lawmaker therefore asked electorates to use the period of the campaign to mark the scripts of various candidates and their parties. The statement reads, "In disaster management, there are some principles. The first is early warning signs. The disaster that the unlikely presidency that Tinubu's ambition represents is laden with early warning signs. Buttressed by his conduct and courage, Nigeria cannot afford to walk into that disaster." The second principle in disaster management is disaster risk reduction. Again, Nigeria has a great chance now to avoid a repeat of the Buhari presidency, who was largely an absentee president in and outside the country. The controversy surrounding the Tinubu persona are religion. His age is shrouded in mystery. His academic credentials are under debate. The records of a career are in dispute. The source of his wealth is in contention. The burden of crime hangs around his neck. If in the face of all this, he has been getting away, and some Nigerians want to contextualize all within human frailty, what about the personal failures he now markets around the country? For a very long time, Tinubu made the rest of Nigeria believe that he is not only the conscience of Yoruba, but he is the numero uno of the southwest of Nigeria. Events in the last few weeks, during which Tinubu had to wrestle to obtain the endorsement of Afenifere, have shown that Tinubu has no political base or has an exaggerated claim to political leadership. Melaye also referenced the experience in the United States under the presidency of Donald Trump, saying that Nigeria can learn from the mistakes of the Western countries. The former lawmaker stated that Tinubu has shown in words, actions, and attitude that he constitutes a great danger to himself and a potential disaster to Nigeria. He added Trump was a man who lived in controversy all his life, but who, through brinksmanship, deception, and deployment of a huge financial asset, hoodwinked Americans until they promoted him to his incompetent and unmitigated disaster. It will take decades, if not centuries, for America to clean the mess. Nigeria can be smarter by learning from the mistakes of the masters of democracy who were almost consumed by political indiscretion. Tinubu has shown in words, action, and attitude that he constitutes a great danger to himself and a political disaster to Nigeria. His unfitness manifests daily. Let us heed the early warning signs. Let us adopt a disaster reduction strategy. Wow. So the thing there is that he is trying to analyze the state of Tinubu now. That even though his political career has been exaggerated, the way he went about seeking the Afenifere support shows that he has no political base, even in the southwest where he is. Right? And another thing he's trying to tell us here is that everything about him is shrouded in secrecy. His age, his academic qualification, his source of wealth, and everything, and all of that yet to be resolved. Now he's also showing that his capacity is also in question. It's questionable, right? Because the kind of mistakes he makes now when he goes out on public outing is also showing that his mental capacity, his health is deteriorating, and that it's going to be a disaster. So Melaye is now liking that to disaster management. All right. One thing is knowing your disaster when it comes with the warning signs, and that thing is disaster risk control. Having seen the warning signs, what do you have to do to reduce the risk or mitigate it so that it will not cause huge consequence on you? And that is why he's saying we should employ the strategy of disaster management to make sure that we don't fall into this disaster that is coming. So he's trying to say that Tinubu now is a disaster. Now, wow. Tinubu now is a disaster. So, and the only way is to make sure that we employ disaster management to be sure that nobody falls into it. And it's liking this thing to the mistakes that Americans made when they enthroned Donald Trump as their president. Donald Trump hoodwinked them until they unknowingly promoted him to the level of presidency, and he became American president. And the same mistake was what brought Donald Trump down, and he's saying it's going to take decades, if not centuries, for America to clean that mess that Donald Trump has caused them for the just 4 years he was in office as American president. So what he's saying is that we should learn this mistake from the masters of democracy, which is the West. That if they can make such mistake, we should be smarter than that. We should learn from what they have passed through, and then make sure that we get ours right from the beginning. That is what Melaye is saying here. So he's telling us in summary that Tinubu is now becoming a disaster. And so we should see the warning signs and also employ the strategy of disaster recovery and disaster management so as to avert the impact. All right. There are a few comments here. So everything you said was right, but you have bad mouth, sir. Can you imagine? Somebody said everything he said was right, but just that he get bad mouth. Now, all of them don't employ people and get bad mouth for them. APC get Festus Keyamo, get FFK. PDP get Melaye, get Reno Omokri talking for them. It's only Labour Party and NNPP that are minding their business are trying to be matured in the way they make comment. The people that make the worst of state political statements using bad mouth, all of them, they PDP and APC, they will bad mouth each other. See, right now, Melaye has challenged FFK, and they have been in contest for some time now. It looks like they have started respecting themselves, but we know that it will blow up again. So another is saying obedient all the way. That is the only way out. Both APC and PDP need to be retired back home, right? Somebody is saying be quiet, useless old man. Well, that is his own statement. This Dino and Femi Kaide has so much in common, but the most commonest work they are doing now is Otinkpu work. One is working for APC, while the other working for PDP. For those that don't know Tinubu is that like a noise maker, all right, making the noise on behalf of the party. So his name is, these are the Tinubus. This must be a very serious one, all right. Seaport calling Kettle black. So what are you saying that Melaye is calling Tinubu black, PDP calling APC black, all right? So again, this is what Melaye is saying, that we should beware of Tinubu and APC because this is disaster that is coming, and let's get around it and employ disaster management strategy to make sure we don't fall into it. Thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.